SSL premiere here at the Nexon Arena, sponsored by Janair. And we're going to be heading into our final best of 3 of the night, as of course we did have to miss one today. Alive versus Patience will not be played. We're going to see SOS versus Solar, another PVC to end it.
Yep, this is going to be a good one. SOS, really always a strong, crafty player. Solar defeating Stats just last week here at Premiere, as you mentioned. So 2 heads coming together here in what should be an exciting clash. Solar, of course, the teammate, if you will, in terms of sponsorship with Stats. So they train together a lot, and they no doubt will have, he's probably learned a lot from the incredible play of Stats, right? Stats just won a finals off of this exact same matchup against him. So he's got, the current best in the world as a sparring partner, and that's going to help him, of course, against SOS. Oh, I saw that one coming. He didn't even know he was looking down, too.
Yeah, he is totally unaware right now. Just living his happy life. The rest of us influenced by his actions. It's
Look,
okay.
You know what? The thing is, he's in the front row, and I've been watching him all evening. I'm looking at him right now. He's probably he's texting, but he's probably texting his friends about, like, you guys, I can't believe you didn't come. You better be watching at home. He's like upvoting. Yeah. He's upvoting the Reddit thread about like how SSL's live. He's like, yeah, you guys gotta check this out.
He's getting there on Invent. He's making this post like, hey, you guys just mixed a 6 series innovation. Is he the true Bones Raw?
He's super hyped. All right, like. So I can't fault him, because he was probably posting on Inventor like DC Inside or something, or Play XP right now, because he's hyped, and that's fine. He walked in front of the camera, but I'll forgive him this time. He's a hero.
You can see him down there for a second. Anyway, guys, we are going to look at this matchup. SOS. You can see his SSL total is 11-17, and he's 1-2 so far. Doesn't really say too much about this player, as he has been a big player in Korean StarCraft, in just World StarCraft.
Yes. $, the nickname he received after defeating Hero, shown in his new updated icon with the Templar with the dollars. And here is Solar, defending Star League champion. The last Kespa champion for a Star League when he was on Samsung. Now, of course, representing Splice as defending GSL champion Stats is. And, I mean, look, this matchup should be exciting. You talked about SOS having pretty poor SSL stats. He has never done well in this tournament. He's had mediocre results in the GSL without, with the one exception where he made the finals and lost to Bjorn. That was his best, domestic Star League performance. And, Solar just historically has been great in this matchup. We talk about how he's practicing the Stats. I mean, it stands to reason. Stats won the finals off of scrimming with this guy, practicing with this guy right on camera in the exact same matchup he's about to play. So I think he's the favorite here, but SOS has probably got some crafty tricks up his sleeve.
You're talking about the 2 scrimming. I mean, Solar beat him too. The guy who won that GSL matchup. So it's I'd have to give the edge to Solar here, but SOS, he's a tricky guy. He might come in here and prepare some nice builds for this best of 3. Let's see what these 2 players have prepared going into set 1 right now.
SOS 김유진 솔라 강민수
Down here in the bottom right on Whirlwind, the yellow Protoss from the Janair Green Wings, it is SOS.
And his opponent, teammate of GSL champion Stats, it is Solar, representing Splice. And this is going to be an exciting one for sure. This may end up being our best series of the evening. The first one was definitely really good, I would say, but it left a lot to be desired. I would say it was not as clean as the other 2, but this one I think could be really close. And I'm thinking that SOS is going to definitely show us some unusual tactics here. I think he's going to play something special. I don't think he's just going to play straight up, as you would imagine other players would do. Maybe show you something like Zest did with a DT opening, maybe some heavy harassment on this big map. So you see the Nexus first go down. It's going to be a slow wind up here on this large map. The map set will be Whirlwind, Overgrowth, and then Abyssal Reef. You might see that for the first time. It's actually was scheduled to be the third map in Mario vs. Stats, but that series didn't last very long.
Yeah, also the third map for Innovation versus Dark, which also was a 2-0.
Yeah.
So
it's been a pretty quick night here, all things considered, with the Alive forfeit versus Patience. So Probe coming in here will do the scouting deed. Not going to be, unfortunately, able to deny any hatcheries or anything like that at this timing. And just going to confirm, steal some money, which got the Korean commentators real hyped. But he's just a little greedy, annoying Probe.
I was wondering if there was something else going on. And, I mean, there is a second gate coming out at a pretty interesting timing, pretty early on. And we were talking about SOS being tricky. I mean, this is kind of what we see a lot of the time. He just does things a little bit differently. It's different timings. He goes with builds that the other player does not expect. And we'll see if whatever SOS has got planned will catch Solar off guard. He does have that second Overlord going to the right location of SOS.
Double chrono for these double adepts. I mean, this was pretty standard when Legacy of the Void first came out, to see these adept-based 2 gateway openings with the Nexus. And we even sometimes saw one base play with this, the 2 gate into the Nexus. This is going to be afterwards. And with that Twilight Council coming down, you have to feel like this is going to be pressure into a timing attack with a bunch of gateways once he hits that 40 worker or so, 45 probe count. Perhaps even with an empty third, so you can transition to that second fall of Immortal Push, something like that. A Stalker coming out, which almost feels like a misclick in this meta, but we'll see if he's going to look to clear that Overlord or what the plan is with that Stalker. Perhaps that's the idea, is to just delay, or rather deny, scouting of this Glaive research, which is already being chronoed right now.
Oh, he really wants a drone. He couldn't get it. Poor Adepts.
All right, well, even though he wanted to deny the Overlord, the Ling gets in anyways. Stalker's existence is meaningless. Talk about an existential crisis. I guess he could still push the Overlord back. Meanwhile, these Lings are going to come over here for counterattack. Some pressure on. So Solar knows what's coming. Question is, how does he respond? Stalker's like, no, my life has meaning! No, you didn't get it. Your life has no meaning.
That Overlord is going to be just fine. With its Overlord speed, it is much better than you, Mr. Stalker. And
where's Stalker's speed one? It's not fair, Blizzard!
Well, with StarCraft Remastered coming out, I guess a lot of more people will be playing Brood War again. I mean, Dragoons, they have an upgrade.
Yeah, it's like Dragoons sometimes don't make players break their keyboards out of frustration. I think is what the patch note said, right?
Yeah,
something like that, or like, mothers of Brood War players everywhere will no longer hear loud cursing from their sons in the middle of the night due to Dragoon pathing and glitches. I think that's what the patch note said. I have to go back and check.
Hopefully. What, this Overlord is out of position?
Ooh, just a little bit. Probably will confirm in a second because it's going to look really suspicious. We see a drop here. This is something that Bjorn did not mix into his play in his series against Zest earlier this evening. That was sorely missed, I'd say. I believe he still hasn't seen it.
Yeah. It's just going to be 8 Lings coming in here, and all the Adepts are out on the map. So I'm curious to see where those Adepts were actually warped in. It looks like at the natural. Going to cancel that Shade. No way Shade's on in there. Not going to make the same mistake as Zest on a smaller level.
Yeah, and, Solar's just had so much time to prepare an army for this. He's really committing to Lings. Nice position here on the ramp. He's actually going to give it up and try to push in, though. Just a few roaches here, but they're targeting down these very, very close, or very quickly, rather, these Adepts one by one. The Queen going to help out here. He needs to target drones. He's targeting drones, does finally start to do so. Gets 2 now in total.
Look at the third. There's nothing over here. All the drones have to run away. He might even be able to get this Queen. Yes, easily does. He's going to cancel that Shade. Or no, he doesn't. It's out there on the map.
Okay, he does get away, just using the mobility of Shades here, so not as much of a commitment to the first initial attack as what Zest showed us. It's a little bit more pressure-based and saves the Adepts to send them home for a follow-up attack with the Immortal, rather than kind of trying to really, really hardcore hurt the economy of Solar and then go for the follow-up pushes. It's going to kind of take a slower, steady as she goes type approach here. It's going to be in total 10 Adepts right now, 4 more gates on the way. I believe we will have 2 Immortals with this. Yep, there's the second one queued up right now. So this is a strong push, and Solar is going to need to respond. He's going to need to realize this is coming.
I love SOS whenever he harasses with these Adepts. He gets so aggressive with them and sometimes sends them on suicide missions, generally in other matchups, but can do it against Zerg too, where he's just like, okay, you're dead, but I'm going to kill like 10 drones here, and there's not much you can do about it because I kill the drones so quickly. If your units are out of position, then I will get a ton of damage done. As Solar's been pretty good about denying a lot of this harass. I think only 4 to 6 drones have gone down so far.
Well, I mean, this game will likely come to a head here in just a moment. The Forge that we see coming up here for SOS is the most interesting of all because it leads me to believe he's really just trying to, rather than end the game here, stop a 4th base, transition, move into higher tech. This is still can in the game, especially if half the units get cut off by force fields here and they're stuck here in the main base. Guardian Shield goes up, force field's coming up now too as well.
Not the best force fields, to be honest. They immediately do get broken, but this might be too much. We'll see how much work that Immortal can actually do against all these roaches is actually pretty incredible.
Yep, here come the big warp bits here, 8 more Adepts, but it seems like it might be a little too late here as the force fields did get broken, the links stream in. There's a lot of Zerg here. He hasn't killed the Immortals. He needs some more units. 11 roaches are about to pop out. I think he holds this. And he's got the chance to chase this away as well now. He needs to keep that Prism alive. That is so critical right now. Solo, down it goes.
Oh, man.
And that actually might allow him to just kill these Immortals before they can retreat. And I think that actually is too much.
It looks like it will be just enough. Barely. Solar is able to hold on. Not the best force fields, not the best engaged position there from SOS. He will lose everything on the map now. Solar will hold on.
I just feel like if he kills a few drones, stops a 4th, takes an even trade fight, and backs off with the Forge he's got, you know, +1 spinning on, maybe this game goes on. But with all that he lost everything. His expensive Immortals. I feel theoretically now Solar runs away with the game. He can take a 4th base. He has a larger army, so he can bully, make sure SOS can't. He has an Overlord blocking with creep. That 4th base currently, there's the 4th for Solar coming up. And SOS is going to try to desperately attack. Notice he's switching into Charge Zealots because that's all he can really afford with his economy right now. And he's just trying to make sure he can have enough units to survive. Oh man, he didn't even see this. The Overlord is actually tricky. He was like, I'm creeping your base and I'm creeping into your base with a triple roach.
Oh,
Swarm host.
Yeah, by the way, there's 7 Swarm hosts on the way. 8 Swarm hosts make that. And Solar, I mean, we saw this the other day. Or rather, yeah, the first week of SSL Premier. I actually won the game. I forget which Zerg that was. Might actually have been Solar that did it. But definitely did work out. Let's see how it does on this map, Whirlwind.
This is a big gamble. It feels almost unnecessary, but when you're ahead like this, it's a gamble in terms of Storm hosts really do a lot, and they put us on a death timer almost, or you know, they get caught and killed their immobile units. It's risky in that way. This is going to be the last fight here, and it's going to be Zealots against Locusts and Rage units. Not going to happen. Oh man, look at this. This is just sad. GG.
Okay,
GG.
there you go. Solar is going to take game 1. Pretty flashy fashion there, holding off both attacks of SOS, making it look easy. And we are going into Overgrowth for game 2. I feel like Solar should be pretty comfortable on that one. He is looking really strong. These Splice players, man.
Yeah.
Really, really fantastic.
Absolutely. And you know, the Charge Zealot there, you know, he went into Charge and just made a bunch of Zealots. And I think the way I was looking at it is, okay, he's going to try to desperately use these to make sure he can hold on to a 4th base, get that up, and try to attack. He just made them and attacked again, which against all the range units Solar had saved and built up in the last fight, plus Swarm hosts, which he couldn't have known about, just utterly destroyed that push, and that's all she wrote. Now going into game number 2, as you mentioned, Overgrowth is the map. I have to echo your sentiment. These Splice players look too good. This is a godlike matchup for Solar. He's always been good against Pros, especially back in Pro League, you know, in the early days. He won, you know, a very Protoss heavy tournament last time in Star League. He's defending Star League champion.
Yeah, and I'm expecting him to take this next one. We'll see if he can close it out. Or will the Trickster SOS come back in game number 2?
SOS 김유진 솔라 강민수
We are on Overgrowth up in the top right. The yellow Protoss from the generic Green Wings, it is SOS. Yep, that's him.
Yep. Wanted to give the dramatic pause, but went on for a while here. His opponent is Solar. One win away from taking this best of 3. Putting him at a 2-0 in terms of series wins. Very quick probe scout here once more for SOS. Looks to block the hatchery this time. Gateway first on the high ground.
Up on the ramp.
This is unusual, to say the least.
Where are you going, little probe? That's not where the natural is.
Is he going to proxy? He's going to proxy a second gateway, or perhaps even 2 more, or just rally adepts. This is what I actually used to do a build like this back in the day in PvP, where you just
classic Wolf.
You just proxy a second gateway, and Zealots were much stronger back then. I'm talking like early Wings of Liberty. And yeah, you just add 2 gateways, and you could just rally units for the kill.
Is he even going to make the Cyber Core?
I actually don't think so. I don't think he is. I think he's just going to Zealot. Well, okay. Well,
okay.
Yeah, this is Legacy of the Void Economy. It's not the same as what would have happened with the build I'm talking about.
He's getting that 1 gas.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he's just going to rally adepts then. And it's going to be, I mean, it's expensive. He's just barely going to be able to afford it.
And look at the build out of Solar. He doesn't scout at all. And on this map, it takes a long time for those Overlords to get over. This probe is just going to look like a late scout coming on over, making sure everything's okay. Doesn't come from the right side at a weird angle and make Solar think anything's weird. That drone should just go over and make that 3rd base. Although, okay, well that was a little bit scary. Solar's getting close. He's actually teching.
He knows something's up. He knows something's up. He might blind make a spore crawler or a spine crawler here. I think he realizes something is not right.
That would be some fantastic star sets.
Let's see if he does it. I mean, he can't afford one right now. He's making 2 drones. That probe comes from a weird angle, and you know, either way, you know, we're going to see the Twilight Council come up. So he's going to try to parry this into, I suppose, Glaives coming into this. So we shall see how this works out as the Shades come up. And here comes the attack, going to kill a drone already. And soon this is going to be 5 adepts. So he needs to actually make this, he needs to make this defensive 4. And he may just think this is a normal 2 adept pressure, which it's not. He needs to make units like crazy. 8-lings on the way. As Valdez and I are casting off the big screen. Our monitors went out.
Yeah, our monitors died. I'm like trying to shake all the wires. Nothing's happening. So we're watching with you guys on the big screen. And yeah, well, Resonating Glaives on the way. That Roach Warren is going to be very important for holding this off. Unless you can get a huge swarm of lings, it's going to be very hard to hold off this many adepts.
The problem for SOS, though, is if he gets the critical amount of lings, the critical mass, shuts this down, kills the gates, then how does SOS even do anything after that? I mean, he dies with this push, or he wins with it. And here comes the next wave. This is the big adept swath. He's got 6 now. And he looks like he just wants to do some pressure with defensive shades. This is actually really well done. Not going to lose a single adept. Just defensively shade until he gets enough adepts here to just crush and hit that timing with Glaives at the exact same moment. 8 roaches on the way. Solar is doing this exactly right. It's still going to be very tough. We didn't see this initially. Okay, this is actually the first aggressive shade. He's going up the ramp, and he's going to commit, it looks like here. Nope, cancels. This gives a little bit more time to Solar, who's down workers, by the way.
But it's going to be very hard once this next wave comes in with Resonating Glaives. That's when it's really going to hit hard. And He's got to go in with all those attempts.
Yeah, he's going to probably, cancels. He's buying more and more time for Solar.
That's a lot of roaches. It's a lot of Zerg.
Yeah, and he's even just droning now. He's like, I think I've got enough. All right, it's all about the ramp here. He wants to get on the ramp so the Lings can't surround. He actually goes all the way up and doesn't actually commit. But this is losing power over time. This is massively losing power over time. And these Adepts are getting weakened as well. I think he just straight engaged this, and he is.
Oh, he was going for it. He was close. And you can see so many weakened Adepts, especially in the front. If the Roaches can get a couple of big hits, take a look at the units up on the top. You can see 23 to 23 workers, 22 Lings and 11 Roaches compared to just 17 Adepts.
Hey, he finally commits this time.
He goes for it. The Lings, they're going to get that decent surround, but the Resonating Glaives taking a nice chunk out of all of those Lings, and now the Roach is coming on up here trying to trade.
Oh man, this is looking disastrous as he actually goes in here right now. The Adepts do get surrounded and killed, the majority of them now, and look at the supplies. You can just see that this is losing power over time, down in hit points right now, and this attack looks pitiful now. It just looks pitiful as some of these Adepts are basically dead and win behind Dark Shrine, right? I mean, he's got no natural to speak of. His main base is nearly mined out. And even in terms of workers, he's up one. But the fact that the second base is mining for Solar is really the big story here. Now, if he doesn't realize this, he doesn't have any spores. Okay, he makes one now. He realizes, okay, they've got glaives. He's got that Twilight Council. I need to do this for safety.
Look at this guy, man.
Intelligent play. Intelligent play. Understanding the chances here.
Yeah, it's the same kind of play that StatsBra, where he just like understands. But still a very big number of Adepts in here with Resonating Glaives trying to get that damage done. They take out all the Lings. And finally these other Roaches from the natural trying to come up here. You can see Solar's desperately trying to split these up to fight both of the Shades, but here they finally do not shade, and the rest of these Roaches are coming on up.
Okay, he may just target down that Spore Coil. I believe there's only one. Here come the DTs. There's no way Solar could see this. It's not a blip on the minimap. If he targets the Spore down, this actually changed everything. Here they come! He's going to target down that Spore!
He needs one on the main right now.
There's nothing. He picks it up. It's too late. He needs to Spore the main. Exactly what he said. He's going to hold position on the ramp perhaps to stop this. No, just lets this happen.
He's going to surround the Spore.
Yeah, he has to surround the Spore. He has to. And this should work. I mean, the DT's wasted a lot of time actually even coming up here at all. And he can't kill anything, and this base was evacuated earlier. He should actually just be fine here. As SOS expands to the gold, we see some Lings actually sneaking across the map to force defensive warp-ins here. Actually, you know what? He can't make a Spore down here. I was saying that he's not going to lose his hatch, but yes, he is, because obviously they can't move a Spore down there to detect. It stops the main base from dying, but this is going to get a bit crazy now with the gold base up. It doesn't like the Lings accomplish anything.
It's going to be this timing where Solar's going to be on one base, and he will have detection with the Overseer with the Lair. And he's going to have one push, and if SOS can hold it off, he will be massively ahead with the gold base. But if he can't, then SOS, or rather Solar, might just win as a one-base Zerg here.
All right, so, I mean, let's see. He's got 23 drones, 24 drones. He has one shot. He has enough money for that Overseer. It's finished now. Ooh, this is nice. He can confirm at least that there's no natural expansion. I believe he's seen this base. Am I wrong? I'm pretty sure Ling saw it. Oh, I guess not. But he must know. He must know. Oh, if he doesn't know and he just sits on this, absolutely SOS can come back in this game. If he doesn't check that and he just thinks, aha, you've got no money left. He's even going to recall to hide it.
Wow.
He recalls the probes to hide it. You know what? I mean,
Solar has to go check this.
He has to see it. He has to check.
He's not checking it.
DTs are going to clear this watchtower. He has one Ling to the top left that could go and check this. If he just sits here like this, SOS probably wins the game.
Hey, he's got Immortals on the map now. He has those 3 DTs. He can make 1 Archon. Warp Prism on the way to micro everything and even keep Solar more on the back foot. 2 Adepts coming in here are going to decimate this economy very, very fast with the Resonating Glaives.
Oh man, the economy was already horrible with that killed hatchery earlier. And he's like, he's preparing for everything except the gold base. He's like, okay, like, are you really still mining from this? Like, what's going on? He like can't figure it out. But the one thing that hasn't ticked in his mind is, What if he just took the gold base?
I mean, Solar was one of these Zerg players that would always just go for the gold and even take the gold of his opponents. So I'm very surprised that he has not figured this out, that the gold base is out on the map right now for SOS.
I mean, time is ticking now. No Overseer nearby, by the way. This is disastrous. Solar has fallen apart here in a big way.
Meanwhile, there's an attack at the front. Fantastic force field's going to cut that army in half. And he does have that Warp Prism on the way.
He had that one chance you talked about to move across the map with his Overseer and kill the base. Didn't realize there was a base. Took his own late. He started his hatch after SOS had already been mining from a gold. There's nothing else to say here. I mean, if he had realized and attacked earlier, perhaps he just wins the game. Now it's too late.
That very thin timing, and now he's missed it. Now he's going to be like, okay, well, I guess I have to attack. I have 15 drones.
I'm pretty sure the moment he saw that army that force fielded his units, he was like, oh, you know, and now it's just way too late. Way, way, way too late. Force field's here already.
He's going to give it a shot, but that shot is not going to hit anything here. Solar is going to go down in this game. GG's. SOS ties it up.
That's got to be a moral hit, you know. The game was all but won for Solar. Just SOS in his blind spot. And, you know, there's almost something magical about how SOS is able to pull moves off like this. He'll hide a base, he'll take the gold, he will do something unusual and unexpected. And in the heat of a moment like that, when you're thinking, all right, all I do is defend this, I just defend, I get my natural back up. He scouted his base like 5 times with the Overseer. 5 times, like, oh, you have no money left? I guess I just win no matter what. Except he somehow forgot the one last thing. He checked almost every other base, by the way. Almost every other base. And perhaps he thought he checked it and the link just didn't get close enough, or maybe he checked it too early, and so he had already removed that possibility from his mind. But whatever the case may be, SOS lives on by chance here. Solar finds that base, he likely destroys it, barring, you know, control mistakes.
So I just saw Stats, actually, who's watching in the back room, come out into the main arena here and ask the some of the staff if he can go into the booth and actually talk to Solar, because that's definitely a match where you want to go into your teammate and say, okay, calm down a little bit, this is okay, you know, it's SOS, keep your head on straight here against this tricky guy. So finally we're going to see Abyssal Reef here for set number 3 of SOS versus Solar right now.
SOS キムチソラ강민수
Down here in the bottom right, the yellow Protoss comes back in game 2 with the tricky build. It is SOS.
And his opponent here cross spawn on our first Abyssal Reef of tonight and our last. It is Solar. 3 for 3 in a row. It was the 3rd game. Only the first map, or the first match. Didn't have it as a set. But this 3rd one, we finally get to that game 3 after 2 back-to-back 2-0s. Solar starts off with a 3-gate Adept Harass, or rather, really basically an all-in. Gets defended, takes a gold base, and now here we are. One of my favorite new maps we've had in a long time, Abyssal Reef. You know, there was another map, I'm trying to remember what it was called. It was another GSL exclusive map, underwater, in old seasons. I mean, right after I'd moved to Korea, maybe late 2011, early 2012, but had a lot of cool effects underwater, and this map reminds me of that one. Kind of a re-envisioning of it in a way. But I like this map a lot. It really gets produced a lot of really good games at the GSL, and I'm glad that the pros voted it in. So we see a Nexus coming out pretty quick here for SOS. Not a Nexus first, safe Nexus timing.
Watch out for that shark.
Yeah, there's fish swimming around, man.
It's the big shadow of the shark there. I don't know where that was. The probe's got to be careful.
It's not the Cloud Kingdom Shark. What was that one called? The Space Shark? Oh,
Something
man.
like that.
I'm sad I can't remember the old classic shark from the maps. That's something that like only original StarCraft 2 fans will understand, but even I forgot the name of. Like, I've lost my passion. What's happening to me? I think it was just called a Space Shark or something like that. But anyways, giant shark. Maybe it's the ghost of the Space Shark.
Does the Space Shark have to wear a helmet in order to breathe? Space?
I don't think so. I think it just floats in space. Like, I think it was meant for underwater maps like this, and then it just floated on Cloud Kingdom, I believe was the map actually it was on, and just floated around. I mean, who knows? Maybe it's just its assets were built for underwater, but it just was put into space. And his ghost lives on underwater.
Yeah, he's still around.
He's still out there. He's all in our heart. He's in our hearts and memories, no matter where he went.
Well, you were talking about stalkers in game 1, I think it was, and we have another one here from SOS. Seems like he definitely is on the hunt for overlords. Wants to make sure that he can try to deny them if possible. The first adept will come over here and just do a bit of scouting. Come on in. There's going to be 2 gates and a Stargate coming out here.
Nope. Pushing that adept away is the queen. Solar's probably breathing a sigh of relief that there's a lot less heavy pressure on the early game this time. This Stalker's life has a meaning, as this Overlord is not getting out despite using this pedestal. The Mothership core will allow that to be cleared. You know, it was a different time back before the Mothership core where you could keep that Overlord there all the way till the mid-game.
Yeah.
No longer. Ling run by up here, shuts down by the fat Stalker. Take it, you know, you should take a diet, Stalker. I don't know what...
Take that diet.
What's the verb for this? Like, God, I've been in Korea too long.
Take a diet.
You should diet. You should diet.
Grab your diet quickly.
Take a diet, man. He's like, Diet Coke? I'm like, no. It's got aspartame. Oh. Okay.
It's the new diet bar. It's called Diet. Who could have guessed?
Take it. So the Adepts move across the map, a small amount of them. Baneling Nest coming up defensively here for Solar. And it can also be used aggressively afterwards, if that's his plan, for drops, for example. Oracle coming over here. I mean, this is a lot of pressure. These Adepts at his third base, and the drones are forced to evacuate, and they're going to shade. The Oracle is going to be harassed, and all the while, SOS takes that third base. Here comes that Oracle now. Unfortunately, he's not timed it with the Adepts at the same time, so he might bring those Adepts back in once the response comes. There's only 1 Queen here right now.
Not the best micro on the targeting, but coming for the follow-up, there's a 2nd Queen, and so he's only able to get 3. Queen's actually still poking at this Oracle. He's got to be... Oh, he runs into that one. 7 health left. And it looks like he will just barely get away.
So this is nice. He cleans up the Overlords now with this lone Phoenix. It wasn't critical damage by any means, but it definitely gave him the freedom to make the third base. That's really what this is about. I know a lot of people look at an Oracle and they go, how much damage can he get? How many drones does he kill? Well, the bigger story here is that he has a third base up uncontested. He's transitioned into the Templar Archives, or excuse me, the Twilight Council. Citadel of Adun, I mean, what am I saying? And the
yeah, I was watching some of that Brood Wars yesterday too.
Yeah. Everyone was wrong. There was no Brood War HD. Can't believe they only announced StarCraft Remastered.
Yeah.
I was waiting for the Brood War HD. Only StarCraft Remastered came out.
It's a little bit disappointing for sure.
But look, he's got the time to get all these gateways powered up with the third base he has. He has the Resonant Glaives coming up. He has all this freedom, this space to do this because of the Oracle play, because of that Adept pressure. And I think the Adepts are even still over there around the 9 o'clock. Come back at any moment. Could rejoin the army.
Yeah, they're still chilling over there. Kind of looking like a pylon with a little leg.
Yeah.
Over there. But they're waiting. Baneling's speed and more just Lings, Banelings, and an Infestation Pit coming out here pretty early. And a pretty cool kind of style that Solar is trying to bring in here against these Adepts with the Glaives that SOS is committing to so heavily. Here comes that 2-pronged attack.
The Adept is looking for something. Not the Adept, the Oracle is looking for something here. Just try to draw these units away. Drop in the top, and he's got the shade on the left side. Okay,
Whoa.
it's basically 3 prongs, if you will, to Trident attack. He's going to shade in here, comes over to the natural, and there's, of course, the drop in the main base. Huge warp in.
Look at how many adepts he just warped in. How do you even make that many gateways at this point in the game? He's going to take out that Spore Crawler pretty early. Should be targeting down a bit more here.
Well,
but,
you know,
finally that was taken out.
to answer your rhetorical question, he got that 3rd base for free, you know? I mean, he has this economy. Now he's going to catch some of these spawning Swarmos, which would be nice. He doesn't have detection over here. So these Locusts are going to, there's only a few of them, but the Locusts are going to make this easier to deal with. Good split here against the Banelings on top of the ramp. Having a concave here is so frustrating for Solar to deal with right now. And the Prism is still alive, so 7 more coming up.
You thought this was over. Well, here comes Solar. He doesn't split. He gets a huge hit there with the Banelings.
Oh man, what a mistake there. You know, he had such a good pre-split. He must have been looking elsewhere, perhaps controlling his Oracle or something like that. But this actually turns this game on its head. Perfect splits, great concave, and then suddenly, as if controlled by some otherworldly force, he brings them all back together right when the Banelings roll in. Now he's attacking a hatchery with the Oracle, probably the least efficient use of energy of all time. But look, this push is no longer deadly.
Oh, and the Baneling speed too. It takes out so many of those adepts before they can get away.
And the Solar with the smashing of those adepts will clear this up now. Has a massive lead. And adepts obviously function really well with a push like this when you have a high number of them. It snowballs and you just win the game, or you do an incredible amount of damage. Now these Swarm hosts are going to come over, harass other Flying Locusts. Solar has a great economy. 4 bases once he resaturates that 4th. And how is SOS ever going to deal with this?
There's nothing here. Look at that. And they're going to do a number to that Nexus, actually, already losing a lot of its shields. Yeah.
Well, Phoenix is coming over.
Yeah, it looks like he will get it just barely before all those Locusts die.
SOS is forced to remake this. He's trying to look for some more double prong attacks here with the the warp in of adepts to attack by ground, then drop the 4 in the main base. Solar has stabilized. He is finally taking that lead back in worker count. He hasn't saturated that 4th base though. It's still completely empty right now. That's something that he could be doing. He now has 67 drones because that huge spell is finally finished. So he will be able to saturate. He's looking for those adepts, doesn't find them unfortunately. And here comes that drop towards the main base. Phoenix is still helping to clear up the overlords, which makes drops like this possible. It's actually Zealots in the dropship. Gonna kill some Banelings. Baby steps here for SOS as he still remakes that 4th base.
He's struggling right now. It's one of those moments where you're like, look at the supply. 60 down here. Oh,
Mike Warren in the building!
Just hanging out.
He's like, he's just reading Reddit. He's like, yeah, Bird Rage announcement went really well. There he is. How he sees us. The king of StarCraft himself, the maker.
It's like, pause the game, everyone. We need to put it on to Mike Morheim here. Nice little run by over here. We'll be shut down. Nice job there by SOS.
Mike's comment on Reddit, he said, no, adepts aren't too strong. Look. He's like, are you guys watching?
Are we watching the same game here?
All right, so 100 supply lead now for Solar as SOS does what SOS does best and hides a Nexus. It's not unfortunately going to last very long. Oh, maybe it will. Okay, he saw it. He's just going to blow it up with these Locusts. I was going to say he just turned around, unfortunately, again. This will be just as the same before. We'll kill the Nexus right out. Not even a Phoenix to delay the inevitable this time. Didn't even get to mine a single mineral from this base.
Yeah. Poor Nexus, man. Lives and dies alone, only with that 1 pylon.
Pylon survives, at least, I suppose.
Yeah.
This is going to be the finishing
death
blow.
Of his father. It's like, oh, it's so sad. Well, here comes Solar. He's going to actually take down the rocks here. Make a different path to come on in. And SOS, he's going to have the most miracle hold of all time. He doesn't even have Storm right now. He's trying to get it.
Yeah, I don't know if that fleet beacon he just made is gonna work out for him either, but we'll see. As here come the Lings crashing through to end tonight's Premier League. They're coming in. Banelings rolling. Swarm hosts just crawling.
The Locusts getting a little bit of the action too. Even rolling the Banelings into the buildings at this point. Another Nexus beats its fate rather. GG. Solar takes the 2-1. Nicely done. Another Splice player takes a very dominant series again tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue in a certain way. He got an achievement for ceremony, yeah. But anyway, wasn't the greatest ceremony, perhaps
I
wasn't on camera. But you could argue almost that he won this series 3-0, actually, because of how, had he scouted the second game, that was his win to take. SOS sneaked away that one win to get $100 more out of this best of 3, but will go home without a win, just a map win on Overgrowth, as Solar looks dominant continually in this matchup. Terrifying to think of the other Protosses he will meet going into this round robin, how they're going to feel about this powerful ZPP player right now. Splice dominance, man. What if he could be a back-to-back Star League champion, perhaps, if he could defeat his teammate later on in the tournament if he just keeps up this performance.
He's done it before. Could he take him down in a longer series? That would be the question if it comes to it. And wow, what a way to end the night. Very cool, very dominant performance from our Zerg player. And that should do it. I think we're going to take a look at the standings here. It's still a new kind of, they're trying a lot of new things out in this league, so still fresh for us as well.
Absolutely. So, exciting matches today. Glad to finally be back commentating Star League with you, Valdez. So here's our reporter, Suhyun, I believe is her name. She's new here at the SSL. Good games today, a lot of fun. Kind of results, of course, if you break it down. Biel wins 2-1 over Zest, making that adjustment with the Mutalist in Game 3. Stats destroys Maru 2-0. We're not going to go into the detailed stats. We're going to look at the rankings instead. So Innovation, Biel, and Solar are all 2-0 in terms of match wins. But in set wins, Innovation has yet to drop a map. He's 4-0 in this tournament.
The only player so far, so undefeated. The one shining star, that Terran player. Guys, the next games we are going to have on Saturday this time, we will have Challenge. It will be on Saturday. From here on out, you can see the matchups online if you want to look at that in English.
I can translate for you really fast. It's Lucero versus Classic. It's Hero, CJ Hero versus Gumiho. TY versus Bunny. Byun versus Deer. Then SOS versus Stats. Alive versus Dart. Biel versus Patience. Solar versus Maru, and then, versus Zest, and then Maru versus Innovation. Oh, I messed one up this time. Oh, it's so close.
They both have Song in their name.
They're very similar names, but yeah, anyways.
Close.
Those are the matches.
Good try.
It's been a lot of fun, and yeah, that one's going to be at 10 p.m. if you're here in Seoul. We're actually going to be restricting the challenge broadcast to online only.
Thanks to all these people, again. And that's going to do it for us. Was great to cast with you once again, Wolf, up here on the desk for Premiere. But that's going to do it for us. And we'll see you guys next time for more StarCraft here at SPO TV.
This world has gotta change.